Okay, welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into the work of Jonathan Pageau. He's this really interesting French-Canadian liturgical artist, writer, YouTuber.
Yeah, and founder of Symbolic World Press. Quite the portfolio. You shared some great info on him.
Absolutely. So our mission today really is to unpack this core idea of his, the symbolic worldview, and maybe figure out why it seems to be, well, hitting a nerve with so many people right now.
It's definitely striking how he weaves it all together.
Yeah.
The art, the philosophy, the public speaking. It's all quite integrated.
Totally. So let's get a handle on who he is first. Born in Montreal, 1975, French-Canadian background.
And his upbringing sounds kind of mixed, right? Catholic, then Protestant.
Yeah.
His dad was a Baptist pastor.
Yeah, a pastor who later studied psychology, interestingly. And Pageau spent some time in Wheaton, Illinois as a teen. French is his first language, though he mostly operates in English now, it seems.
Right, and his art training was Concordia University in Montreal.
Exactly. Painting and drawing, with distinction even. Trained in postmodern art, but then, well, he got pretty disillusioned.
That seems like a crucial turning point. That disillusionment with contemporary art, it feels like a common thread for some people, that search for something deeper.
I think so. It led to a bit of a crisis for him, personally and spiritually. Then he spent, get this, 7 years in Africa, Congo and Kenya with his wife, who's Slovakian. They were with a Mennonite charity.
Wow, 7 years. That's significant.
And that's when he converted to Eastern Orthodoxy. He was searching, he said, for a deeper and more integrated faith.
And the icons played a big role.
A huge role.
Yeah.
He saw Orthodox icons as like theologically integrated art rooted directly in the incarnation, not just subjective expression.
Okay, that makes sense. So he pursued that formally.
Yep. Studied Orthodox theology and iconology at the University of Sherbrooke. And around 2003, he started specializing in carving icons. Wood, stone, mainly steatite, I think.
And he's based back in Montreal now.
Yeah, with his wife and kids. And his brother, Matthew, he's a mathematician who's also exploring symbolism, seems to run in the family.
Huh. It really paints a picture of someone whose beliefs are deeply lived, not just academic. That journey from postmodernism to traditional icon carving is quite something.
Definitely. Okay, so let's get into the core philosophy, this symbolic world idea.
Right. The basic idea, as I understand it, is that reality itself isn't random or meaningless. It's inherently symbolic.
Structured, right, by these interconnected patterns. What does he call them? Logoi.
Logoi, yeah. Like underlying principles or meanings embedded in the structure of existence itself. It's a concept with deep roots in Orthodox theology, thinking of someone like St. Maximus the Confessor.
So key tenets would be reality operates in patterns, hierarchies, heaven, earth, center, margin, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And meaning isn't something we just project onto things. It's in the structure. Symbols aren't just signs. They actually participate in the reality they represent.
Okay, like a national flag isn't just cloth. It somehow embodies the nation's spirit.
Sort of, yeah. And he believed traditional art is key to revealing these patterns. Scripture and myth, too, are primary sources for understanding them.
And this is his counter to modern thinking. Materialism, rationalism.
Precisely. He sees that stuff as causing a meaning crisis, a kind of spiritual emptiness in the modern West. His whole framework is offered as an antidote, rooted in that Orthodox understanding of the divine logos in these logoi.
It's a pretty bold claim, really, presenting this not just as his interpretation, but as how reality actually is.
It is. It directly challenges that purely secular materialist view.
And this ties directly back to his own work, his art. He's been carving icons and liturgical objects since 2003, founded Pageau Studios.
Though now he mainly offers original pieces through Patreon, right?
Yeah, seems that way. He sees this liturgical art as fundamentally theological, Christological even. The goal is to facilitate an encounter with the sacred, reveal cosmic order.
Which is pretty much the opposite of how he came to see a lot of contemporary art, right? As ironic, individualistic, maybe even nihilistic.
Exactly. And he doesn't just make art, he teaches icon carving too. So the making itself is part of the practice, part of embodying these principles.
The physical act grounds the philosophy. It's not just abstract talk.
Right. And he's definitely not shy about sharing these ideas. He's got a massive online presence.
The YouTube channel, The Symbolic World, is huge, yeah. And the podcast.
Plus websites, the blog, courses. He edits the Orthodox Arts Journal.
And Symbolic World Press, starting his own publishing house.
Yeah. For graphic novels, fairy tales. We'll touch on those. Plus Patreon for community support, and he speaks publicly universities like Cambridge, Princeton, conferences.
It's a very deliberate, multi-pronged strategy to get these ideas out there and build a community around them. He's on social media too, Instagram, X.
He's clearly committed to disseminating this worldview. Now, about those specific works, beyond the carvings, which are significant in
The
themselves.
graphic novels stand out. God's Dog. He did that with his brother Matthew.
Right. Retelling the life of St. Christopher, exploring themes like monstrosity, sainthood.
That
Looks pretty intense. Monster, warrior, those are the titles.
and the fairy tale series, retelling Snow White, Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, The Tale of Snow White and the Widow Queen, Jack and the Fallen Giants. The goal there seems to be explicitly highlighting the symbolic structures within those classic stories, for kids and adults.
So Symbolic World Press is really about reclaiming storytelling, grounding it back in those traditional patterns he talks about.
Seems like it. Plus, he has those structured series on YouTube, Symbolism Basics, Genesis, Exodus, Universal History. He covers a lot of ground.
It's a concerted effort to, well, re-enchant the world through narrative, you could say, taking these deep ideas and making them accessible.
Okay, so let's try to pull this together. Key takeaways. What should listeners really grasp about Pageau?
Well, I think it's this offer of a comprehensive symbolic worldview. It's rooted firmly in Eastern Orthodox tradition, but presented as a way to find meaning, well, everywhere, especially in a culture that feels fragmented.
And his own life story, that journey from postmodern art to icon carving, really underscores his message. It's not just theory for him.
Absolutely. And his use of all these different platforms, the art, the videos, the books, the speaking, shows this deep drive to reintegrate that traditional wisdom into contemporary life.
His works, from the carvings to the graphic novels, are all trying to embody and communicate these core symbolic principles. It's an invitation, really, to reconsider how we look at reality, how we understand stories.
Which brings up maybe a final thought for people to mull over.
Go for it.
Given Pageau's focus on these underlying patterns, these logoi in everything, how might adopting that kind of lens, even partially, shift how you understand just everyday things, or maybe challenges you're facing?
Could looking for those deeper symbolic structures actually offer new ways to think about their meaning or even how to navigate them?
It's an interesting question, right? Does seeing a pattern change how you engage with it?
Definitely food for thought. So for anyone whose interest is piqued, Pageau's Start Here, What is Symbolism? Playlist on YouTube seems like a good entry point.
Or checking out the first books from Symbolic World Press. See how this idea of inherent meaning resonates personally.
Great suggestions. Well, thanks for diving into this with us today.
Always interesting.
I've included links with more details in the description below, so be sure to check those out. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Deep Dive, like the video, and ring the bell for more helpful content. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day ahead.